Okay, I'm going to be doing this particular broadcast on a topic that I think is plaguing our society. We are told all sorts of things what love is and what it is not. And we're told, we hear terms like hate thrown around loosely. And we hear terms like love thrown around real loosely. But I want to talk about the biblical definition of what love truly is. And I will go over that tonight. And we'll first turn to 1 Corinthians chapter 13, and we'll see what the Bible describes love to be. And I just think this is such a powerful passage because we hear the terms like love and stuff thrown around so much, we just kind of lost what the meaning of it is over time, I think. I really think that people think love is something it's not, and they think hate is something it's not, and we're going to discuss what these truly are. And it says in 1 Corinthians chapter 13, if I speak in the tongues of men and of angels, but do not have love, I am only a resounding gong or a clanging cymbal. If I have the gift of prophecy and can fathom all mysteries and all knowledge, and if I have faith that can move mountains and do not have love, I am nothing. If I give all I possess to the poor and give over my body to hardship, that I may boast, but do not have love, I gain nothing. And here we'll see what the characteristics of love are. Love is patient. Love is kind. It does not envy. It does not boast. It is not proud. It does not dishonor others. It is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices in the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. Love never fails. Where there is where there is prophecies, they will cease. Where there are tongues, they will be stilled. Where there is knowledge, it will pass away. For we know in part and prophesy in part, but when completeness comes, what is in part disappears. So, we're told, first off, love is patient. When you think about how love is patient, can you honestly say, am I a patient person? Do I get triggered easily and lose my patience with others and snap at people quickly? Yeah, we all do that, but that just means we need to grow in love. Love is kind. Do we treat people with kindness? Regardless of what they believe or how they think or what they're doing. We should treat people kindly. It does not envy. Are we happy when we see other people succeed? Or are we envious when we see someone else's success? Are we jealous and say, oh, I don't want them to succeed because that makes me feel inferior? That's not the right attitude to have. Love is not proud. And so, basically, love does not just put itself higher than everybody else and look down on everybody and just say, I'm better than you. No, love doesn't do that. Love, it does not dishonor others. And, some translations say it is not rude. It does not do rude, inappropriate, unbecoming things. Love respects that other person and does not do inappropriate, rude, crass, dishonorable things to other people. It is not self-seeking. It's not like me first, me first, me first. Forget you, me first. Love's not like that. It is not easily angered. Quick temper shows that we still need to grow in love and patience toward people. It does not keep record. It keeps no record of wrongs, meaning it's not counting up all the mistakes somebody makes. We all have moments where we slip up, say something stupid, do something stupid. How would we feel if somebody tried to ruin our lives and hold that against us, that mistake against us for the rest of our lives? We see people do that all the time, where somebody says something stupid, maybe on television, and then we grab our torch and pitchfork and go out to tar and feather them. Let's ruin their lives. No, love does not do that. It is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices in the truth. So love is not about evil. It does not delight in evil. Love wants what's true. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. Now, I think this is where it can get confusing. It's not saying that you trust everybody. Just because you love someone doesn't mean you have to trust them all the same. But I think when it says it always hopes, always trusts, always perseveres, I think love is always more inclined to look for the better in others than to just highlight the mistakes in others. When you're like trusting, you might think somebody did something they shouldn't have, but you still give them the benefit of the doubt. Maybe sometimes we do the wrong things or make a miscalculated error, and we give that person a benefit of the doubt and say, well, I don't know your motives. Maybe you were really trying, and you just made a mistake there, I mean, what I think it's saying is love does not jump to a conclusion and automatically assume the worst of other people. You give people the benefit of a doubt. You give people grace to be human and make mistakes. And, I think that's very important because we all make mistakes and we all need grace. And so when it says it always hopes, I think that's talking about you always hope the best for someone. If you see someone who's living a destructive lifestyle or living a life of sin, you hope that eventually they come to their senses and repent of that so they can have a fulfilled, blessed life in Jesus Christ, and so that they don't ruin their life through poor decisions. You're always hoping that they may come around, come to their senses, make the right choices so they can have a better, more fulfilled life that is best, truly best. As Jesus said in John 10:10, the thief comes only to steal, kill, and destroy, but I've come to give you life and life abundantly. So, when we're living the life that God calls us to live, we're going to experience the most joy, the most peace, the most fulfillment in that. Not when we live for sin. When we live for sin, we often bring harm on ourselves and get ourselves into a lot of trouble. Now, let's talk about that passage. Let's talk about that passage and try to reframe what love is. Our society often says, well, if you love me, you'll agree with the choices I'm making. Or if you love me, you won't call this or that I'm doing sin. And that's just not true. That's just not true. Just take for example, your son or daughter is making some poor choices, and you truly want what's best for them. You truly love them. You truly do. Let's say your son was doing drugs, or your daughter was caught up with the wrong type of guy. Oh! You as a father would say, now son, now daughter, this is not going to be a pleasant conversation. I really don't agree with what you're doing. I really don't think you're making the right choice here. I love you unconditionally. But you know what? You're really making some choices that are going to harm your life. And I really care about you, and I don't want to see you get hurt. That's what love is. When you're bold enough, yet gentle enough to tell somebody the truth. And even if they get mad at you for a moment, you're big enough to handle that. You're like, okay, I understand you're mad at me. I understand this was not a conversation you wanted to hear. You're upset at me. I can handle that. I'm a man. I'm a big man, and I can handle that. I'm a big boy. I can handle the fact that you're not happy about what I said, okay? I love you anyways. But, I'm still going to listen to me now. I'm going to straight shoot it to you. It's like telling the truth, regardless whether that person likes it or not. If they ask you if a friend or someone close to you asks you, what do you think of this lifestyle that I have? Well, you're not going to say, oh, you sinner, you. No, you're going to say, if you're truly acting with love, you're going to say, well, no, I don't agree with that lifestyle. Listen, I love you and I accept you as a person, but you know what? I don't agree with how you're living. I'm just going to be honest. I don't think less of you. I don't think I'm superior to you, but I'm just going to tell you what I feel like is the truth. And when you say it that way, I think that comes across a lot more gentler than if you say, you are a sinner. There's difference between the pointing finger and the gentle, take them by the hand and say, you know what? I think what you're doing is not good for you or not right. I don't think it's the right way to live. But you know what? At the end of the day, you're going to have to make your choice. And whatever the consequences are, you're going to have to accept those. So you give people the freedom to choose. You leave the ball in their court. You let them know, I don't love you. I'm just saying, I don't agree with what you're doing. That's all. And you're not like putting yourself on a holier-than-thou pedestal. You're just saying, this is what I believe. I'm trying to express it in the best way I can without hurting your feelings, but this is what I believe is true. And listen, you're going to have to decide at the end of the day what you're going to do with what I've told you. But it is your choice at the end of the day. But still, it is my choice to disagree with you on this. And that's all. I think that's sometimes just the respect we need to show people. I mean, we see people all the time get mad at each other over differing opinions. Just look at politics, for example. I think it's okay to disagree with somebody's politics. I think it's okay to disagree with other people's opinions. But, you know, what happened to the times where we just showed respect and just said, well, you know, I mean, you're free to believe what you want to believe. I disagree with you on this, but, you know, we don't have to be mad at each other over that. And I think that's one thing our society has lost track of. Our society is very unloving. Yes, that's right. Jesus said in the last times, the love of most would grow cold. And when you really harbor resentment and anger towards somebody just because they have a different view, I don't think that's biblically right. Regardless, I think we should show the same respect to those we agree with and those who we disagree with. I mean, I think that's the true definition of love right there, is to show all people they are worth respecting and showing kindness to, regardless of how we feel about their choices or their beliefs. It's called respect. It's called decency. It is called being, I guess we could say, it's called being an adult. But, you know, as far as I'm concerned, adults sometimes don't make better choices than children do. Actually, children sometimes make better choices than adults do because they haven't let time and bitterness wear them out. So, my encouragement to you today, my friends, that we try to show respect and kindness to all people, whether we agree or disagree, and we just try to share our faith in the most respectful way possible, and then leave the ball in the court of those who hear it. Let them decide what they're going to do with it. God bless.